Don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane,
Thank you for listening.
Coach, episode 300. I am extremely stoked for tonight. Dane sends his love. He's actually at a tournament right now. Couldn't make it, but that's okay because I got to do what I love. Obviously, music and sports are both mutually important to me. But if I had to probably say music is 1A, sports is 1B, I'm stoked beyond stoked. There's a drummer I've been following for a while. We call him Matty G. That's what I call him, Matt Greiner. He'll be coming on a second from August Burns Red. This guy, I'm telling you, you want to talk about someone that you can't emulate. I've had the privilege of meeting Yogi, was, obviously many others, and this guy is one of those top five metalcore drummers. The technique, he's got a drum school, always working on something. It's just one of those people that never gets old. Metal, they say, is ever evolving. I almost feel like he takes some of this stuff from like prog rock, mixes it in with even a little fusion jazz from the Thrill Seeker days all the way to the Death Below days. Matt's always kind of beating himself and making himself better. If you want someone to watch live and just get wore out watching him, that's Matt Greiner, guys. So without wasting any time, one of my musical drumming heroes is Matty G. Matt, how you doing, my friend?
Dude, that was the best setup I've ever had.
It's all true, man.
Like
Like I said,
this
watching you play, man.
podcast should be huge, is going to be huge. And man, thanks for having me on here. It's awesome.
Of, of course, man, it's an honor. Like I said, my days of playing, I've had a chance to watch you play many times, watching your technique. I nerd out over some of the technical stuff. And like I said, just seeing what you've done for so long, you're passionate at a high level. And it wasn't just a phase. A lot of times the drummers, I say it's a phase, right? But you've been doing this for a long time at such a high level. Like I said, back from Thrill Seeker days, my personal favorite album, obviously Leveler. And then even recently with Death Below, the 20-year anniversary of
Yeah.
Thrill Seeker. You've got this just body of work, man, that you've produced with August Burns Red, not to mention your countless tracking and things you do on the side. You got a whole kind of ecosystem of Matt going on. So I'm curious, man, take me back to the beginning, maybe the garage days. When did Matt begin in this powerhouse that you are, the drumming
Mm.
guy?
It's a great question. I don't feel like a powerhouse. And maybe that's the one constant thread that's been a part of my career. I started off just loving drums. I couldn't believe that people get to do this full time.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, can you imagine not having to work a job and just being able to play drums all day? Like I would practice all day long, right? 15-year-old me. And then 25-year-old me was that guy. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm on tour all the time. This is amazing. But I actually can't practice all the time because we're driving between shows and then I have the 45-minute show. And I'm actually not playing drums as much as I thought I would be having this as a full-time job. And then 35-year-old me was like, oh, we don't have to tour as much anymore. I have all this time at home. Man, it's really hard to get yourself to the kit to practice, even though you have
right.
8 hours to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah.
It's like every 5 years you have to look at your career. I mean, you probably feel like this too. Like you just have to look at it and say, okay, where am I at now?
Right.
What kind of person am I am, and how do I need to adjust my priorities so that I continue to succeed at this thing that I care about?
Absolutely,
Because
man.
25 years ago, when I just started playing drum, 24 years ago, I just started playing drums. It was like, dude, I can't wait to get to the kit. It's the only thing I want to do.
It does
I
all
have all
matter.
of these things in the way of me getting to the kit. And then you fast forward and you get to a point where it's like my brain needs a break from the mental math. And
Right.
so I'm just going to go mow my lawn. Well, guess what? That turns into three or four other things that are paths of much least resistance because the stakes are high. You don't
Right.
just sit down at the kit and say, ah, I'll just play.
Yeah.
At least I don't. Maybe I'm alone on that. But if I sit down and just play in air quotes, what tends to happen is like if I play and I'm not playing well, my mind goes straight to next week when I have to
Yep.
record. And I'm like, oh, geez.
Panic mode. Yeah. Yeah.
Like everything matters when you're playing drums. It's probably like, Josh Allen throws football in the backyard, Thanksgiving Day if he's not playing. And for him, it's like, wow, I just like figured something new out about my like
hmm
everything matters when the stakes are that high and it's a game of inches. So,
I love it.
man, I think becoming who I am today has been a process of figuring out what's important to me.
hmm Got you. Yeah.
And at that point in my life, when I was 17, starting this band, it was like, dude, this is the only thing that matters. And now it's like, all right, my daughter wants me to read her a book, and she's a year
Right.
and a half old. And I have that feeling, that panic, that like you have that test tomorrow, you have that interview tomorrow, you have that speech tomorrow, whatever it might be. For me, it's I have that show tomorrow,
Right.
and I'm a
Work
little
life.
rusty on Empire, and I might just have to be a little rusty on Empire because that's not going to take over this.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
man, that's been like, all right, last year and a half of my life trying to figure that out.
Man.
Right?
Yeah, well, it's ever evolving, like you said. You start off from 17, nothing but angry teenagers playing, kind of finding a way to vent that out, and then now you're playing because you get to, not because you have to. The early days when you're grinding, the van tours, like you said, you guys grinding it out, the 300 dates a year, just the crazy stuff. Now to actually be able to say, hey, pick and choose, step back, it's something you get to do, not that you have to do. The evolution of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about your shows, man. Because I mean, literally, a touring machine. You guys have grinded out so many tours, and it's amazing the influence you spread by just being that workhorse. It's fun. It's a gig, but I know it's a job as well. We know that you've talked about that, how much pressure it puts on you to kind of perform next level. Looking at your body of work, man, I hear people say different venues. I've heard people say things from the Ryman to the O2 to some clubs in Russia. If you were, I probably can't say just one, but if you were to pick maybe one or two venues that you played in your career it's been like that's been the go-to so far. So far, what's a arena or two that you play that's like this is my favorite so far? If you could say that.
Just happened. Welcome to
Really
Rockville, Daytona International
saw
Speedway.
that. Awesome, man. Saw
100
that.
degrees on stage. Maybe that's hyperbole. 90. I mean, everything feels like 100 when it's hot.
Yeah,
So you're up there, stakes are high, tons of friends there watching you side stage. No cabs on stage, so what you're hearing on stage is pretty much just acoustic drums. So every little thing that you do is going to be heard by guys who know what they're hearing. And then front of house, you have, 5,000 people watching you, and you're playing on the infield of the Daytona
yeah.
500 home base, which I grew up
No
watching
pressure.
NASCAR. So for me, it's
Yeah.
like, oh. So that's one of those places where the night before you're laying in your bunk thinking about it. How's this going to go? Like, can I pull that part off in Paramount? There's really quick threes. I've been kind of struggling with that. Like, how am I going to be able to sit back and harness that? Like, you're just running
Hmm.
scenarios. And then you get up there and you do it and you walk off and you just pump your fist. I literally was walking back to the bus. JD and Dustin were walking towards me and I just high-fived them. Like
Love it.
full-blown gladiator mode. Like, I can do anything. If I was
Yeah.
scared about like buying a house, if the house was in front of me, I would just buy it. Like
Right there.
it's
Yeah.
it's just that amount of momentum that you have coming off of something like that.
I love that, man. That's cool, man. You got to be a part of that, being a NASCAR fan, and then coming full circle. And the way that I got to see pieces of that clip, and the welcoming you to that, just the metal world is worldwide. So people watching what you do, kind of cheering you
Yeah,
on. The adrenaline, like you said, I've heard a lot of performers say that there's that window of time when you get done with a show. Was it maybe a couple hours before you come back down to
yeah,
neutral? You got a
yeah,
couple hours, you think?
yeah. I struggle to say that it's just adrenaline for me. Like, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this with
Yeah.
with talking to a lot of guys in the athletic world because I look at the thing I think is really interesting about your show, and the reason I'm really pumped to be on here is that um, there are a lot of commonalities between what I do and an
Hmm.
athlete.
Hmm.
And I think it's more than just adrenaline. For me, it's fulfillment.
Right. Right.
Like my wife can tell if I haven't played drums in 2 weeks. And I don't think it's the fact that I've not had the chance to just beat the crap out of drums. Like
It's your calling.
it's yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's do you know that feeling you get when you do something for 15 minutes that overrides the fulfillment you get from doing something for 8 hours? Like
Yeah.
the amount of
Yeah.
work you can do in 8 hours building a house
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah.
15 minutes doing the thing that you were called.
Yeah.
That's not adrenaline only. I mean, there's some there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fulfillment. That's purpose. And it's the thing that most of us been learning a lot about this. A friend of mine said this. He said, "What are you supposed to be doing with your life?" The answer to that question is, what is the thing you've been procrastinating doing?
That's good, man. That's
And it's
good.
like, dude, that's me with
Yeah.
drums. I
Yeah.
I always go to the, like I said, path of least resistance. And it's like I tell my students, I tell the dudes I mentor, push yourself.
Right,
Like
right.
embrace the suck, however you want to phrase it.
Right. Embrace it, man. I love it. But it's true. Like you said, it is fulfillment. That's a good way of putting it. They say you never work if you love it. Even when you work at it, you love it. So it's not really work. And now
Yeah.
you talk about your students and your clinic and your presence is spreading far beyond the world of metal. Obviously, like I said, I hear hence when I listen to you, I hear fusion jazz, dude. I hear even a little bit of Dave Matthews in your stuff sometimes. It's such a range,
That's
the way you
awesome.
play, but I hear it, the influences that you have, like you think about the last 20 years, the metal scene, the metalcore scene, guys like you, obviously Kill Switch, you guys are tight with, Demon Hunter,
Phew.
even going into Vince
Yeah.
Sevenfold and some of the more,
Yeah.
even some of the Bullet stuff. You guys are part of that movement. It's been a movement of music for the past 20 years of great metalcore bands. Thinking about watching you, I hear influences that come to mind. I think of somebody maybe, and I may be off base. Like I said, a little bit of Dave Matthews, a little bit of Carter, a little bit of even Joey Jordison. I'm curious to see when you are like, that's my guy. That's the guy I look at. I listen to him. This is my muse. Who's
Hmm.
your muse, man, as a drummer? As
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
mine, you know what I'm saying? Who's yours?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I mean, I love all the dudes you just mentioned. I just met Mike Portnoy for the first time
That's awesome. That's awesome.
at a Metallica show. That dude, I
Legend.
embarrassed myself so badly. We were at Will Call. I was trying to get my ticket, which I had on my phone already. I was just like, it just skipped me. I was just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to Will Call, get the ticket. Well, I already had it on Ticketmaster, but had I never gone to Will Call, I never would have had this happen to me. So I'm at the Will Call window. I look left, and there's Mike
That's
Portnoy,
cool.
who
That's
I've never
cool.
met, and I go, Mike, and Mike looks at me, and he's like, hi, and I'm just kind of waiting, like, is he gonna, is he gonna? No, he's not gonna. Hey man, I'm Matt from Morgan Spins Red. Nice to meet you. Oh, hey, how you doing? He starts backing away. Young kid walks up to me. Matt, I'm a huge fan of yours. Well, I did what I should never do and what I don't like that people do, which is look past you at the
Yeah,
person behind them. Totally did that to this kid. Dude, that's Mike Portnoy. And he
I love
goes,
it.
I know. I'm dating his daughter. I'm like, oh,
Now it's coming together. I see. I see,
oh
man.
no.
So Mike, yeah, man.
So we walk over and it got worse from there. I mean, I'll just air it out here. I was like, Annie, this is the drummer's face that's on the poster in my basement. I'm like, oh, what did I
And
do?
as
Oh
Mike's
my
kind of walking
gosh.
away, like hiding behind things now, walking away.
Yeah.
Security kind of silent alarms going off and all that. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
dude, it was
No,
it
I
was
love it, man.
bad.
I
I
love
was
it, man.
that guy.
No, man,
Took a picture with me. Nicest guy I've met.
great dude.
Like
Yeah,
just like a really. And then that night he's taking pictures with like Lars Ulrich and
that's cool, man.
Charlie from Pantera. Like it's
Yeah.
just one degree of separation from the biggest and the baddest. So Mike Portnoy is huge. I just love how he makes a drum set musical,
Yeah.
which has always been something that's resonated with me. Like if I'm gonna sit and play drums, I don't want it to just be a beat that
hmm
fits.
Yeah.
I want it to be something that catches people's ear. Oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like the seventh time you listen to a song.
hmm hmm
And Between the Bird and Me's drummer Blake Richardson,
hmm
amazing. I'd say if you remove BT Bam from my, if BT Bam never existed, like self-titled the whole way through, my drumming would sound quite a bit different. I
Yeah.
got so many cool ideas for that band.
That's good. Yeah.
Meshuggah, obviously, um,
Yeah.
just so many cool parts. In fact, I just tried just tried to write a Meshuggah style drum pattern into the song I'm working on right now. They have this part that's just like has always blown my mind. It's ba 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 da boom ba 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 da ba da ba da bum, and
hmm
instead of just playing da da ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba da ba da da ba da ba, he starts off like he does, hiding where the one is. So he's like da da ba da boom da
hmm
da ba da ba da ba da boom da da ba da, and you can't really tell. You can kind of tell where the chord is, but you can't really tell what he's going to come in or what he's going to do. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's and there's the reward.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it, man.
There's the payoff. So I wrote this drum part, totally ripping it off. It sucks. I've tried it. I've
I
tried
doubt
it.
it.
I've
I
tried
doubt
it. I've
it.
tried it. I've tried it. And some of the guys are just like, loses momentum when it gets to this part. I'm like, but it's the
Yeah,
Meshuggah part.
it's so good, man. No,
But
I
it's
can,
not
yeah.
because we're ABR, not Meshuggah. You know what I mean? It's like I want to
But you
be
know, everybody
Meshuggah.
draws from something. You know, like I said, like just like I've told you, we've you know, it's drawn from your influences and all that. It all it's an ecosystem, right? You put your spin on
Yeah.
it. Obviously, no one's gonna play exactly like you do. I like how you even said too, it's musical. I've heard you say that, and I've heard when we got to interview Tim from Tim from Perfect Circle, he said the same thing. It's musical. Like I want to lay this out. When you listen to me play drums, I don't want you to look at this as just some dude behind a kit. And that's if you don't get it, you don't get it. And I like how you get that. It's like, hey, people are drawn to the band. I'm not just saying that, man. People are drawn to the band because of you. The band is great, but it's technical. People, wow, I'm watching, my head is spinning. So you do a great job of like making it a musical piece. I love that, man. It's cool.
Mm.
So Lil Mike, I see that. Meshuggah, I can see the references there. I see that. It's cool, man. So obviously you got, you know, your studio work, you got touring, projects, 20th anniversary of Thrill Seeker, always something going on. Obviously, you're never really a dull moment. Is there some tracking you can say, like maybe any bands out there you're working with, or any projects you can tell us about, or is it under wraps right now? What's the
Yeah.
next year looking like for you? Yeah,
Nothing like that actually. And
yeah,
and and I want to go back to what you were just saying because I think it was really interesting. So, it kind of ties into it. Do you ever feel like, or maybe if you're listening to this, you can relate to this, but do you feel like, do you know how in a relationship you're like, man, I want to be understood. Like you got
yeah,
to know my story. You got to, and isn't it amazing how there's a language that drummers have? And I think it even somewhat supersedes the drum world into just like,
yeah,
musicians in general. But you realize that when you try to show someone a part you wrote, like this just happened to me. I was just talking to my brother, Ben, you still listen to metal? Like you still love Killswitch? Yeah. Yeah. I said, dude, you want to hear something I'm working on? Push play. And he's like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. And it's just like he hears the top layer. Like if you
yeah,
look at,
yeah, yeah.
if you look at the Earth's layers, like he is just at the top soil. He's not at the like there's so many layers deep, and that's where you've spent the time.
Right,
And yet,
right.
how many people only see that area that's just, oh, there's some grass here, and
I think
you
you're
know what I mean?
saying what they call the musician's ear, man, because it's like, let's say you listen to an album, you know, take somebody class, I don't know, maybe take like a Van Halen part. They're gonna hear maybe Hot for Teacher, but as you're breaking down the deep tracks, like someone's gonna hear a musician, a drummer's gonna
Yeah,
hear things that nobody. Did you hear that tom roll? Did you hear that triplet? Did you hear that? Did you hear that ride?
right,
You're gonna hear things that nobody else hears because
right,
your ear, you're listening to this with a passion, a different level. I always
right.
say that, and you mentioned it when you were talking about playing Indy 500. You said guys that know what they're doing are watching me. I think that's so cool because in my opinion it's cool to have massive fans say that what you're doing is cool, but to have like maybe that one guy that's been playing for 30 years that knows his stuff, that's almost more of a compliment. Would you agree? Like this dude
It's
knows it.
huge.
I love
It's
the fans.
huge.
That's cool, but this guy, like, he knows what he's doing, right? So,
He's the
yeah.
guy I'm playing for.
All right. Love that. That's
I mean,
cool.
everyone
Yeah.
else is paying your bills,
Right.
but he's the guy you're playing for. And
Yeah.
dude, that's why I think what Lars Ulrich is doing is incredible
Yeah.
because he
Still.
has Mike Portnoy coming to his shows. And the way that I see the drum world, or to say it this way, the way that I see the world is through the drum world, and
Hmm.
much of the drum world says, "Ugh, Lars
Yeah.
Ulrich," right? Like,
Which
ugh,
is crazy to me because I don't get that. Like he plays reserve too. If you know Lars, he holds back every single gig. That dude is a stud. Sorry, that's another topic. I'll be quiet. I love him. I'm a big fan of Lars.
well, I'm a big fan of Lars too, but I I don't disagree with the general consensus, which is huge band, Hetfield's a monster.
Hmm.
Lars is not. The performance Lars is not. The creative Lars,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
Black Album, like what he wrote is
Hmm.
so incredible. And actually, I see myself in Lars. I
Yeah.
am okay at playing live. Like I can pull it off. I can play the parts, but it's a lot of work
Yeah.
for me, and it's like constantly trying to get better to be able to pull off. The writing side is where I really shine and
Yeah.
enjoy it. And Lars getting up there knowing the consensus with the people that matter who are coming out to see them because it's Metallica.
Hmm.
No, he
Hmm.
gets up there and he continues to do it. And I think that he has this ability to say, I don't care if people think this or that. I'm gonna play drums and everyone's gonna hear me and people are gonna hear me mess up. People
Hmm.
are gonna hear me not be able to groove this part that everyone's gonna be singing along to, and there's literally 10,000 phones recording it, and a percentage of those videos are gonna make it online. I'm gonna get trashed. Like, you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Like
Who
he's
cares?
just
Yeah.
able to just put it back here, and that is amazing. I do not have that level of I don't care.
Yeah, the confidence too, man, and that, knowing that, hey, because it obviously works. And I challenge you, man, if you get some free time, I love their body of work, but got off on that topic. My favorite album is Saint Anger, classic to me. Get a chance if you listen to it because it was two takes. I've
You
geeked
like
on
the
this.
snare?
I
You like the
love it.
snare
I
sound?
absolutely love it,
Really?
man. I love it,
Wow.
especially when you're
I
listening
should
to
give
some
it
kind.
another listen.
Man, go listen to Some Kind of Monster. You'll hear the rattle. He leaves it on purpose because he wants people to see that he's actually vulnerable. You'll never unhear it. The first time you hear the rattle where he doesn't take the reverberation out, you're gonna hear it like, huh, I never caught that before.
What's the deal? It's only two takes,
Yeah.
the whole album?
And they sat down and they do it, and they have a video of that. If you go back and watch the documentary, they did this entire album. They sat through a session. You can hear James's voice cracking. Lars messes up a few times, which I love, makes me love him even more. So that's a whole different topic, man. But get a
There you
chance.
go.
Maybe a couple times it was maybe not two, but it wasn't tracked out like a typical album. It was
Yeah.
live. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, beat
But
up and robotic and
yeah.
perfected and
But that's like I said, man.
yeah.
That's where you guys. When I mean it, like when you talk about your guys' name is in the scene. That's what kids nowadays. These 20 something kids. As rock is making a revival. I'm so excited. 2000s rock is coming back. So a lot of rock bands are coming back around. Kids are now looking at you guys as like the next Lars, the next Danny Carey. That's what they're going to remember. And it's cool that we have those legends too. But you're going to be the people that remember the digital age as you carried it over. People like you, man. They're going to remember it. So, not just saying that, but good
Lars is
to
remembered for Napster.
yeah, yeah,
Get that out of here. I
yeah.
was
Let's
talking about
go.
that on the way to the show.
I love it,
Lars,
man.
I think Lars is the most famous person in Metallica. Because we
Hmm.
were talking about on the way to the show, like, if he's that bad, why don't they just get rid of him? And I said, I think without looking this up, losing Lars would lose a significant amount of their
There you go.
fans because people
Absolutely.
come
Yeah.
for Lars.
Absolutely.
And we looked it up and it's like, he's worth the most. He's the most, like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, man. Awesome. I didn't know that's
awesome.
cool, man. Picking your brain about stuff. I love it, man. So, kind of looking at a segment, I guarantee you, I know you've done a million interviews. You guys have done the vein, all the stuff. There's a segment I promise you've never had before. We call this rapid fire. Let me explain this, okay? You don't have
Okay.
to answer rapidly, but it's just more like me and Dane, when we're together, we bet on what we think you're going to say. We have five questions that can interweave between make believe and reality, past and present. This is just a Rorschach test about you. So you pick what you think is right. I'll tell you whether I bet it on kind of a Family Feud type thing, but you go with your heart. If I get it right, I win. If Dan gets it right, he wins. Winner gets lunch provided by the loser. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll bet on
This is
everything.
cool.
Yeah, man. So you're gonna love this.
Who
So
wins the most? Who typically wins?
well, I kind of cheat a little bit because I just do a lot more studying on background of
I
the
was gonna
guest.
say,
So
you know what you're talking about. Thrill Seeker to Leveler to Death Below and everything in between.
man, it's these are nothing to do with that. This is more like make believe stuff. So this is something that's totally off base of anything you've ever had heard before. So
Ah, okay.
it's gonna get weird, but it's gonna be
Like
fun. So
boxers or
here,
briefs kind of
yes,
thing.
stuff like
All
that,
right.
but a little bit more kind of you'll see. So here we go.
All
Okay.
right.
So
Gotcha.
imagine they're taking Matty G 2025 version and they say, hey man, we're gonna transport you back into the 90s. You're just picked up and they transport you back. They say, hey, we want you to do a music video with this cartoon cast. We're going to pay you $1 million to do this video. You're going to be the drummer in the background as long as you're willing to get one of the tattoos of these bands on your arm. So, or of these characters on your arm. $1 million, do a little show with them, like you're the drummer in the background. The two cartoons you have to work with is either Animaniacs or Real Monsters. As long as you get the tat, pick one to get $1 million. Animaniacs, Real Monsters, which tat you going with? Who you playing for?
That's an amazing question.
Let's
Animaniacs.
go. I really did. Because I could just see you just kind of behind it. I had that. Dane said Real Monsters, so I
Right
got that
here.
on it. Right
Right
there, just in
here.
the meat. Yeah,
I'm gonna
man,
get
right
another
there.
one. I might even get a neck tattoo. We'll
Just
just
really,
send
maybe
it.
jelly roll it, get a little a little one up here, of like, bongo. I got you, bro. So one for one, man. I love it. I love it. So question two. You're called back next year. They're gonna have you back for another, indie. You're gonna play again next year. You get a chance to come back. They love what you guys did. You're coming back next year. Some NASCAR events. What they don't tell you as a prank is you have to go on stage this time, middle of summer. You got to go on stage either wearing a Power Rangers outfit or a Baby Sumo outfit to play drums in. Power Ranger, Baby Sumo. Which way you going?
I don't know baby sumo. So I mean
It's a big inflatable thing that you get in. It's like this big sumo that kind of puts you in
it's
it.
literally
Yeah, yeah.
And I have to play drums in this.
Yes, you have to play drums in it. Yeah. Power Rangers, you could be a Power Ranger or the sumo inflatable outfit. Middle of July, it's cooking. You got to do it.
Dude. All right, well, I have to play a show, so automatically I'm going Power Rangers.
Let's
But
go.
if
Let's
I could
go.
break out into baby sumo afterwards and crowd surf, that would be perfect.
Gotta jump on them and
That'd be
stuff.
better than
Yeah,
the
it's cool.
show. Just
I love
skip,
it.
just forego the show. Adam can play. I'm going crowd
There you
surfing.
go. I had you as Red
Uh,
Ranger. I did, man.
I'm going Power Rangers on this one.
Fourth
Yeah,
of time. Let's go, baby. Two for two. I
Red
got you,
Ranger.
man.
That's
Let's go.
great.
So next question. There's a lot of stuff. I've seen this over the past couple decades. Pop goes punk. Obviously what you got. I love how you so creative, even with the Christmas stuff. But they call you guys up, say, hey guys, we want you to do an entire tribute album to one of these two amazing artists. Okay, you got to do it like your style, ABR style tribute album. Diana
Oh,
Ross or Britney Spears covers. Diana, Britney Spears, ABR style. Who are you going with?
well, you might not know this because this question is here, but we already did Britney Spears, "Hit Me
Did I?
Baby," and I am horrified that I'm announcing that to the world
I missed
because
that.
it's
What album? Because I swear I
one off.
okay,
Pop goes pump. I'm going with
okay.
Diana Ross
Oh,
because the
got you.
Britney Spears cover is one of the worst. Actually, I think if you were to go around and ask JB, Brent, Dustin, Jake, and myself, worst thing you've ever done, most embarrassed by, it's "Hit Me Baby."
Really? Oh man,
It's horrible. It's way too fast. I couldn't play the kick pattern, so we took off the beaters. I emulated the kick motion, and they just punched it like, what are we doing, guys? Come on.
wow, man.
And yeah, it's not good.
I highly doubt that. I'll check it out, man. I don't know. It must have just because I didn't see it. And okay, I stand corrected, but I had you for Brittany. I did. So I'm two for
I
three. I
figured you
got you.
did.
I
I
did.
figured you had me for Brittany.
I did. I really did, man. I
Ah,
did, man. I got you. So one more
Dane,
rapid
that one's for
question.
you.
Yeah, Dane, you got that one right. So I'm up on him. So this last one, he's probably gonna lose this one. So you're gonna do a concept album, another musical question. They want you to be a part of the writing process, obviously with the drum side, but they want you to write lyrics. And they walk up to you and say, hey guys, your 2026 album, you guys are kind of more mature in your writing process, kind of had some life experiences, not so much in the angry phase as we were before, but this and that. We're gonna give you a concept album. Here's your two choices. You guys gotta write a cool album about this topic and make it cool. Okay. The two album choices you got to work with is you got to write an album about blue cheese or instant rice. Blue cheese, instant rice, and make it cool. Which way you going?
These questions are incredible. Did you guys come up with these?
You do. We do. We have a crowd thing we do. We bring up the questions, and yes, yes. I mean, I have my. I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna let you answer, and I'll give you my reason.
I think I know what you think I'm gonna say. Um, and I have to go with what got us back in 2003, which was like, dude, we're gonna write some mean stuff, which means we're gonna write about blue
I
cheese.
love. Nope, dude. I had instant rice. I really did. I was instant rice, man.
I know you were.
Because I was
I,
thinking like the titles, like I feel it swelling within me. I could feel the heat rising. I have all these, I feel
Why
the
is the
pressure
cheese
cooking.
sweaty? It's been sitting out all day. We're in
Love
Europe for
it.
5 weeks.
I love it, man. So you went blue cheese. I got you. So I ended up
Yeah.
going two for four, 50%. I beat Dan
You
to the
you a
drum
fan of
before.
blue cheese?
On occasion, if the time
Yeah,
is right.
same.
Yeah.
Same.
It just kind of
But
depends on the mood.
that could go both ways. Like
Well, there
blue
you go, man. If you guys want a
cheese.
concept album, if you want one, there you go, man.
Yeah, I'll pitch it for the new one.
There you go. Hey, no royalties needed. Just right away. So, final question, Matt, because I appreciate you, man. I really do try to respect your time. Final question, what we lead into, well, the reason we started this show, whether it's the sports side, musicians, I love what you stand for, family man. You have something to say. One thing that's for sure from the beginning of ABR till now, you guys have always had a message. You share your faith in a way that's very, very non-combative. You have something to say, and I love it. So if you were to go back maybe now as the guy you are in 2025 and give your beginning self some advice, or those that want to be you, just some words of wisdom. Hey, get into this business. You're original, which I do believe is the reason you've been around so long, is because you guys have not been fake. You've always stood for what you believe. You've always been true to yourself. So what's some advice you would give to those that want to be you one day in your
Mm.
shoes?
I'd say to my young self, um, Man,
Good question.
yeah. Stay humble. You can learn a lot from the people around you, even if
Mm,
they differ in faith or values or culture or religion.
I love that.
However you want to dice it, you can always learn if you just look around.
Mm,
And I think early on, I thought I had figured out. And I looked down my nose at people. And I
mm.
realized one day when I was sitting in Amsterdam and the guys were off having fun, and I'm sitting there sulking because it's like, I'm a good kid and I'm
Yeah,
just sitting on the bus and I'm not, you see what I'm saying now? It's just like, what am I
I
doing?
get you. Yeah.
What am I doing? And I realized that, like, man, some of the people that you disagree with, how they live their lives, are better dads, better husbands, better employees, better bosses. Um, and you just always have something to learn. Even if you are very good at one thing, you can always learn from the
Mm,
people around you about other things. And I think humility will take you a lot further because you'll look around and say, man, I'm so grateful I get to do this. When you get up on stage and you feel anxious, the way to beat anxiety is to have gratitude. You
mm.
can't really have both. So when you get up, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous, I'm feeling anxiety, you say, oh my word, I cannot believe that I get to do this. This is
Wow.
incredible, right?
Wow.
And so I think that that goes hand in hand with the place of humility. Because if it's pride at the center of your heart, then instead of saying, I can't believe I get to do this, it's like, well, why isn't it bigger and better and faster? And you see what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
So
Wow,
I
man.
think
That,
I would try to get myself to figure that out earlier on instead of having to go through the motions of like figuring out at my expense or other people's expense. The second thing I would say is the band and drumming and this industry is amazing and fulfilling, and it can't give you everything.
right.
So
Right.
never put this over people,
Mm,
ever.
that's good, man.
Always value people, specifically your family, over this industry and the band and this instrument because
Mm,
you're putting way too much stock in something that is just literally a machine. Like if
mm.
I was like ABR, I'm done. I'm staying home. Adam Gray goes in, he plays, and it works because it's a machine. And you realize, oh my gosh, I've put so much aside because I felt like this was something that had to have me. Doesn't.
I love
And
it,
the
man.
same is true for everybody because look at people that are no more, and the world keeps on
It
spinning.
does. Yeah, man. Wow. Family first, and then everything falls in. And again, I say this in closing because I think that's why you continued so successfully at this because you put priorities right. Yes, we love it. We have 20 years of great music because of you, history that we now get to share with our lives. We get a piece of what you shared in us, but you've done it because you prioritize right, man. So it's like, yes, music is the universal language of the world. Everybody can learn something from music, but you did it the right way. And that's why I think you continue to survive. I keep talking about being genuine, being true to yourself. You never change who you are. And people love that. People love real musicians like yourself, real writers. So man, just thank you from, like I said, obviously the community of ABR fans and the metalheads around the world. And really beyond that, we're so thankful, man, that you keep doing what you do. I can't wait to hear some new stuff because I know it's going to be just as good as you continue to
Oh,
evolve your
thanks, man.
craft. It's great, man.
Yeah, well,
So,
thank you for putting together such a professional
oh,
show.
thanks, man.
I've
Yeah.
done a few of these, and this has been really great. And I'm really rooting for you guys. And if you're
Thank you, man.
listening to this, thank you for listening. And also, man, just know that I am a farmer, drummer, small town kid who just put his head down and worked really hard. And I
I
believe
love
it's
that.
not all because of that, but that is a contributing factor. And whatever it is that fulfills you and gives you that sense of like, dude, that's it. 10 minutes a day, and I am
Do it.
feeling alive. Do it and don't listen to the naysayers and just keep, keep on grinding
Wow,
because
man. Wow.
you never
You never
know
know.
what could happen.
Man, I love that, man. I'll say this, Matt, obviously being a huge fan, please let this be the first of many. You're welcome back anytime. Once you come on the show once, you're an alum. Like to catch up as new music and things come out, man. So you're always welcome.
Awesome,
I mean
man.
it when I say it's a true honor. I know you got stuff to do, got little ones, man. Much love. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be in touch and you have a great rest of your week, okay? Much love,
Appreciate you,
brother.
man. Thanks for
Take
having
care,
me. Thanks
man.
for
Thank
listening.
you. So, guys, that's Matt Greiner. I'm telling you, when I say one of the best in the business, just a humble guy. Doesn't meet a stranger. Never a bad day when you're around Matt, the drummer that I emulate and I've continued to emulate for years, not just because he's technically sound and knows what he's doing, but his way with people. He understands the love of people. You got to have people to make this happen. So I just can't say enough thank yous for him and the band. It got us through some hard times, good times, bad times. There's always kind of a song that ABR has ready to go for us. So I'm grateful for what they've done in our lives. You guys, that's Matt. If you get a chance, listen to their catalog. All of you already out there that are fans already know, but if you haven't listened to them lately, listen to their Thrill Seeker 20th anniversary just dropped, and it's just as good as the first day it came out. Got some bangers on there, as the kids say, and some really, really good melodic stuff. So on behalf of Dane and I who couldn't make it, don't forget, as always, that we love you. And if Dane was here, he'd say, thank you for listening.